What's up guys, Framinthor here, Captain Negativity with everything that has to do with World of Warcraft, and I am already pretty much done with the game. Yeah, it's not even been a month. I think this is only week 4 since the expansion came out, and I'm pretty much done. Now, there are a few reasons to why, but I would say the main one, honestly, I just don't think the game is for people like me. People who just want loot. Basically, people who have like a strict goal in mind and the game just works hard against you for reaching that goal. Okay, now let's go over a few pointers. So for example, let's start with professions. Okay, just like out there, are professions in a better spot than they were before? Yes, there are improvements in professions, sure, I'll give you that. I still don't think professions are really all that relevant for anyone who is playing at the higher level. Right, I know right now is like early on in the patch, yes, of course it is, but I think like in the long term, not really. Two things I don't like about professions. One, it is time gated, because to craft the gear you have to get the spark. The spark is a weekly item that you get from like the easiest of the quests possible. Why is it time gated? I don't know. But so people don't overcraft high item level gear, I guess, which also still requires a lot of chaos shards or whatever they're called, as well as the foci, whatever. It's like it's already gated behind content that you need to do. Why is it also time gated? Makes no sense to me. Okay, and the other reason is I really don't like. So I like when you can craft the best in slot gear. I don't mind that. What I don't like is that the best in slot gear to craft is a complete and utter... I don't even know how to say it nicely, so I'm not gonna say it. But the RNG needed, so for example, the best in slot necklace is currently from crafting, which I think is great. What I don't think is great is that the chance to get the plans is insanely low, so low that people are just selling it for like over 9 like max gold amount on the auction house, which is like, are you fucking kidding me? Right? It's like, are you fucking kidding me? First of all, people who are buying it, you guys are idiots. Okay, just because it's best in slot, you don't really need it. Okay, second of all, people who are selling it for that much, it's like, I mean, good for you and that people are buying, but it's like, it's very scummy thing to do in my opinion. And honestly, I don't even blame the players. I blame Blizzard for making it that way, making a necklace that is so absurdly more stronger than any other necklace in the game, and making it such a rare drop. This is how rare it is. It has like, I believe it's like a 1, maybe 0.1% chance to drop from a rare in a primal storm. These rares, there's no way to directly spawn them, so you just gotta get lucky. There's maybe like 2 rares throughout the whole primal storm. Usually I only find 1, even if I'm there for the whole storm. And also it can't just drop to anyone. I believe you can only drop it if you're a jewel crafter. It's absurd. Why? First of all, okay, if there's only drops jewel crafter, sure, increase the drop rate. Like, this is such a joke. Like, there's absolutely no reason for it to be that much. So that's my problem with professions as a whole. I don't think professions are in a good spot at the beginning of the patch, because literally because of the, what's it called, of the sparks, and because of the requirements to craft the highest gear. In order to craft the highest gear, you have to do the highest content. So it's like, if I'm already doing the highest content, the fuck do I need the highest item level from professions for? Who is this for? Is this for alts? Well, alts are not gonna be farming that highest item level gear, therefore they cannot craft that. Now, that being said, if I play an alt, I can just like not log in for like half the season, which is usually what you would do, right? And then when I log in, I get all my sparks, and then I craft like the 372 gear. Let's say I craft all my gear to like, well, actually with the spark, I think the easiest one is like 382. So you craft all 382 gear. Okay, you start doing mythic pluses, you get your... Actually, no, you can't even do that, because you need primal, you need the chaos shards or whatever they're called. So you can't even just instantly craft. So by the time you can craft, again, the whole profession system up is like the way to level it up and all the talents is a good thing. The implementation, again, is just fucking garbage, okay? That's enough about professions. Mythic Plus, look, I'm not gonna lie. I really don't like Mythic Plus right now. 4 new dungeons, 3 of them are pretty much not doable. Like, they're doable, but it's like at a lower level than where you are. So, for example, Algathar Academy, you can do a 13. Ruby Life Pools, you can probably do an 11. Azure Vault, you can probably do an 11. Knockwood, you can probably do an 11. If you can do a 13 Academy, you can do those ones. Now, while you can do a 13 Academy, you can also do probably a 17 Shadow Moon Valley. Shadow Moon Burial Ground. Why is there such a gap between the Mythic Pluses in the season? And this is not like, well, some weeks are just easier than others on certain Mythic Pluses. No, this is like across the board. Ruby Life Pools is shit both on Fortified and on Tyrannical. It doesn't even matter. Shadow Moon is easy on doesn't matter which week because the bosses don't really do anything. The trash doesn't really do anything. You just have to interrupt the slowest cast in the world, so it's not even that big of a deal. Just bring enough interrupts, bring a Boomy to beam them, bring a DK to pull them in, right? It's like bring a Evoker to knock them back every time they cast, like literally 2 knockbacks, like an Evoker healer, and that's it. You're done. Like, they're all dead. So in that regard, I mean, I don't understand the balance. Now, the other problem I have with Mythic Plus is the 4 all dungeons. I'm not gonna lie, the first 2 runs were cool because of nostalgic. The 3rd run, I was like, I just really don't want to do it anymore. Why? Because I've done them. I've done them in Legion, I've done them hundreds of times, I've done Jade Serpent hundreds of times, while leveling, while time walking. Shadow Moon Burial Grounds I've done in WoD. Like, yeah, I get that these dungeons are cool probably for people who didn't do them, and I've met a lot of people who didn't play through Legion while doing my Mythic Pluses. But for me, it's boring. I've already done it. It's like, it tilts me when people don't know certain things. It's like, why? How do you not know this? Why are you pulling this? Why are you doing that? It's like, because for me, I've done it. I expect people to know it. Even if I don't actually expect, like I don't come in with the expectation, internally, I expect people to know this, right? So I find it really annoying and stuff like that. To pug these dungeons because people just don't know. People don't know the profession stuff in Court of Stars and all that. So I just don't find it fun. I find it extremely boring. So 4 of the dungeons are pretty much like, I just don't want to do them because I've been there, but I have to do Shadow Moon Burial Ground if I want to get the highest key because it's such an easy key and it's completely imbalanced. Alright, so the balance in Mythic Plus and only having 4 dungeons that are technically new, but they're completely overtuned in comparison to like a different dungeon, making them not worthwhile to do. Like, just time-wise, they're just a waste of time, and effort-wise, they're just a waste of time. Valor points. Oh my god, why are they... I don't like Valor points. I don't like that they're time-gated. I like the idea that there's a way to upgrade your gear, sure, but honestly, go a step forward, make them work like Conquest, and also remove the time gating on them. Like, why is it capped at 1500 when an upgrade requires 500? Like, it's just, what are you gonna upgrade really? It's like, and also 3 upgrades is like, what, 6 item levels, or like maybe not even 9, I believe. It's like 3 item levels or some shit. 6 item levels. It's like, who is this for? Like, why is it time gated? Why would I even bother doing anything with Valor points until like at least the middle of the season? I'll just have to like keep capping them over and over until like I have a shit ton of them. Why can't I target gear from Mythic Plus with Valor points? Just let me buy the basic version 0 out of 13 from Mythic Plus with Valor, and then upgrade them with Valor. Why is Valor capped? Just make it so I can refarm. Why can't I just like go to, you know, I'm doing Mythic Pluses, I'm not getting gear, okay, but I'm getting Valor, so I can go buy the equipment that I want with the Valor and then upgrade it, right? And even if that's a problem, just make it so you can only upgrade to a certain level with your IO score. So for example, until you have 15 IO score, you can't upgrade over 10 out of 13. When you have 1800 IO score, you can upgrade to 12 out of 13 or something like that, right? All these like time-gated mechanics is literally just telling you, we want you to play at our pace. I don't like playing games at the pace that the devs tell me to. Sometimes I have more time, sometimes I have less time. I want to play at my pace. The game prevents me from playing at my pace. That's already like just a massive minus, a massive negative attribute to the game, and it just feels like the game is just not for me. It's meant for like, I don't want to say it. Anyways, conquest points, similar thing. I don't believe there should be a cap on that. I feel like if people want to grind out PvP, I think that's fine. Also, in PvP, the conquest gear is only like 10 item levels higher than the honor gear. It's not really that big of a deal to have people with 10 item levels higher just because they could grind it out. And like, it's not that big of a deal. Now, the other thing is, I see like they have this roadmap of what's gonna happen, what their plan is for development for WoW for the seasons and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, in winter 10.05, I believe it's gonna happen probably in January, maybe February. The trading post, I don't give a shit. Primalist tomorrow, I don't know, maybe some story. White and gray transmog, I mean, this is not a patch feature, this should just be like a hotfix. But it's like, because they don't have any actual features to add, they just throw it in there. Okay, then in spring of what's called 10.07, return to Forbidden Reach. I don't know, probably a story to go and see what happened there after the fact. Whatever, it's like the Dragthir starting zone. Human and Orc, Heritage Armor, I don't give a shit. Holiday updates, I don't give a shit. Right, these are usually transmogs. Also, I don't play a human or an orc, so I really don't care. This is, again, not for me, right? If you care about this it's great, but I personally don't give a shit. Season 2, new zone, which is like the underground thing, new raid, the usual, new PvP season, obviously. The new Mythic Plus dungeon pool, again, it's going to be the 4 other dungeons, which are even worse than the current 4 dungeons. And for all dungeons. So again, like the way I'm thinking about already, okay, the 4 all dungeons I probably played, I'll probably get bored of them just as fast as I did these ones. And the 4 new dungeons, I mean, like they're already like, I know they're shit as it is, right? It's like you have the Gnoll Hell, which is like fucking one of the worst dungeons they've made, pretty much the worst dungeon they've made this expansion. You have the vault, not the vault, the long ass dungeon with the elemental at the end whose fucking balls don't have a proper animation, so you just die to balls, because unless you stand like 20 feet away from them, you might still be inside of them, so you don't know. Whatever that dungeon was called, completely forgot. Then what else do you have? You have Neltharis, and you have which is probably the better of the dungeons, and then you have Legacy of Tyr, which is also another bad dungeon in my opinion. Too much AoE that can shoot through walls for some reason. Like, again, the next Mythic Plus pool also looks like shit, and depends on what the old ones are. You might have another Shadowmoon Burial Ground scenario happening. I mean, it's all speculation, but it's like, this is what I expect at this point, because the season 1 is just so bad. So that's what I expect from season 2 as well. User interface improvements, that's fine. I don't care that these are like, I don't understand why these are like patch features. Like, it's like saying that's like the UI improvement in Dragonflight is an expansion feature. It's not. This is something you do as a fix, as like a mini patch. It's not an expansion feature, having the UI update, because almost like this, I would say at least 50% of player base would not care about this. So for 50%, this is not even a feature. And then Summer, Mega Dungeon, whatever, they usually all... usually, honestly, I don't like the Mega Dungeons at all. Caro was cool because it was a remake of an old raid. But, like, I didn't like Mechagon. I definitely didn't like the fucking Streets or whatever it was called. It was just, like, really... They usually focus too much on trash rather than bosses. I just really didn't like it. World events, whatever. Conferences and updates. Whatever. You can look at all of this. It might still change what they do with, like, whatever. But up to Season 2, honestly, including Season 2, there's pretty much nothing I really care about. The only thing would be the Mythic Plus dungeon pool. Maybe that would be good. But honestly, the way things are going now, the game is just not meant for people like me who just want... to be rewarded for our time and effort. That's all it is. I don't like spending hours in Mythic Plus and getting absolutely nothing for it. I capped my Valor literally on day 1, and I had nothing to do except for like hoping for gear, and there's no way for me to get gear. It was just not interesting. Farming like the plus 11s, plus 12s on first week, and then getting my plus 15 done for the week. That was like the goal. And honestly, I felt super empty when I did it. It was like, it wasn't interesting. I got absolutely nothing from it. I got one item from the vault, which is like, okay, that's cool. And that's it. You know, it's like, wow, I got one item level that is higher, but you know, I don't know. The game is just not, yeah. It's too much RNG and too much time investment. I don't think, in my opinion, Blizzard did not change their ways. I've said it before when Dragonflight came out. I feel like Blizzard just got lazier, trying to keep everything that was kind of working the same, didn't improve on it. Mythic Plus seen absolutely no improvements, in my opinion. Thundering is a very shitty mechanic. In most bugs, you just try to cancel it out right away, right? In a coordinate group, you would try to keep it, but right now Thundering, and the thing is, it's a random buff that happens at random, and most of the time it doesn't even work with your cooldowns. Like by the time it either happens after your cooldowns, happens when you don't have cooldowns, it happens during a very shitty boss mechanic, so you have to cancel it out before you get like messed up with all these mechanics happening at the same time. In my opinion, Thundering is a very, very bad mechanic as a season affix. Completely, like, I do not like. BFA probably had the best mechanics aside from season 1. The void gates were fantastic. They changed how you play the dungeon. What's called Pride in first season of Shadowlands was fantastic. It changed how you do the dungeon. Even the second season, Change of Domination, was a good affix. I didn't like the buffs, but at least it was something and was interesting and fun. And you didn't really have to get them, I believe. I don't, maybe you did, but like I feel like maybe you didn't. Like you could have just skipped some of them. Either way, but it's like, and then you have Thundering, like one of the worst affixes since season 1 BFA. BFA season 1 was shitty because of the healing, like whatever larva is that they were, but Thundering is just like, it doesn't give you that much. Like, oh, 30% damage increase. Yeah, but you're not using any cooldowns. You're literally just like auto attacking at this point. Like there's like nothing going on, right? But you got Thundering. You might as well just cancel it out because the fucking dot and the stun will just kill you. And a lot of times it's hard to cancel it out because you're trying to like min-max it, but then you have a mob on the corners trying to cast something. You have to go interrupt, but you're the one with the minus and the tank has the plus, so you have to somehow interrupt that and reach the tank. It's like, bro, honestly, you might as well just cancel out Thundering right away and go deal with the mob when you need to, right? Like all these like small things, it's like, it's just not fun. This is not fun gameplay, right? It's not like a problem solving solution. If anything, it's like, here's the easiest way to solve it right away, rather than like solve it when you really need to. And with even with the weak aura, it's just a pain in the ass. Like honestly, I didn't enjoy Thundering at all. I always found, especially in fucking Quaking plus Thundering, completely bad design that they can happen at the same time. Fucking, I don't know what Blizzard are doing. Anyways, I'm trying to like not tilt myself because this is the second time I'm making this video, and like the first time I was starting to lose my shit. Like I was just going so fucking angry. Anyways, I don't think WoW changed enough of its ways. I don't think WoW deserves a lot of compliments. The story, in my opinion, is still fucking garbage. Why is Razagath, first of all, didn't really win any battle and any fucking against any Dragonflight, so she's a fucking, who gives a shit? She's so weak, right? She barely won against Alex Razin 1v1 and then backed off when Rathian came. What? I thought like, oh, you're supposed to be this like super fucking strong boss. No, apparently she can barely beat what's her name, Alexstrasza. And again, don't forget, Alexstrasza is way weaker than wow, I can't even remember names anymore, than Deathwing. She's way weaker than Deathwing. We beat Deathwing. Do you really think I give a shit about Razageth. She's so fucking weak on like power levels. I don't give a shit. Also, Razageth is acting like a fucking child the whole time. Why is she taunting Alexstrasza? It's like, oh, you see, you cannot be an aspect anymore. You failed being an aspect. Well, then now I'm gonna go ahead and release my brothers. You better not come and stop me. Like, dude, just go and do it. Like, why are you here taunting? Just go and fucking release your fucking brothers, your kin, and, you know, win the wars that you want to win, or like at least try. Why are you fucking taunting her before you go and do that? That makes absolutely no sense. Like, what is this villain? Is she like 2-year-old, a 5-year-old? Like, what's going on here? Right? The villain is weak, okay? Super weak. I don't care about these dragons. These dragons are super weak. Again, story-wise, look, if you just joined World of Warcraft, I'm sure the story can make sense to you. If you've been around since basically Wrath or before, man, who gives a shit? It's a bunch of fucking dragons. Like, they're weak, okay? They're nothing. We beat the Elemental Lord. You think we care about a dragon that uses some elemental power? Like, come on, you know? It's... The story is weak, the content is weak. And honestly, what is their excuse? It's not like they are distracted with trying to balance out secondary powers. And honestly, they can't even balance out their classes for shit right now. I think the raid is kind of okay. The rogues are doing a bit too much, but overall, I'd say the raid damage distribution is somewhat better than usual. There's not like massive outliers. But PvP is garbage, you know, it's like some stuff are just flat out broken. Evoker healing in Mythic Plus is like fucking god mode compared to like many other healers. Sometimes honestly, Holy Priest is also pretty good, but it's like Holy Paladin feels bad. Druid is like, it doesn't have an oh shit button really. It's like, I see Druids like struggling a lot of times and there's a lot of consistent AoE damage. They don't have a lot of tools with that, and I mean like a lot of consistent AoE damage, to the point where like as a prot pally, I spend so much, like I literally do almost as much healing as a druid healer in plus 13s sometimes, just to like top everyone off on like a specific boss, right? And it's like not even topping myself, I'm topping the group off, right? And I only see it with like druids. What else? Shamans, honestly, I have not seen one healing shaman in Mythic Plus yet. I don't know what happened to them. I heard they're not bad, not good, but I can't say anything because I haven't really seen a healing shaman yet. So they're all playing enhancement right finally. Either way, the balance is bad, the RNG is atrocious, and I just feel like the game is not for me. That would pretty much be the sum of it. Yeah. So I am pretty much done with the game. I don't know. I'll try, maybe I'll find something in the game that I find interesting, but as soon as I think about what I have to do, yeah, no, I'm pretty much done. Like, I had a plan to just level as many alts, which I did. I leveled 11 alts and I tried to get all of them to like do a plus 15. But the way I see it, it's like, why would I bother trying to do the plus 15 now? Well, they're all 330 and takes a very annoying, it's a pretty annoying time to get them to like 380 or anything like that. Just to like, even 370 to start doing Mythic Plus properly. So instead of that, I'd rather wait, craft basic like 370 gear, and or buy the elemental like primal storm gear, which is like 385. So it's like log in, do the primal store, get the item, you know, switch characters, etc every week, get my primal storm items, which will take me 10 to 12 weeks. So basically by the end of the season I should be able to get 385 on all of my characters without really playing them. I'm thinking about that, it's like, why would I even do that? Just pay the sub for nothing. Either way, that's my 2 cents why I am not having fun with this game anymore. And yeah, it's just not made for people like me who just are goal oriented and just want fucking loot, like to be rewarded for our time. Anyways, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.